Is China FUD the new number one FUD?
No, I don't think it is. I see the energy FUD coming back in spades right now. They're really pumping that. And the way the FUD is in the media at the moment, I think it looks very desperate. It's been debunked so many times, and see these people just getting more and more desperate. There's an article in Nature about the energy use in China that is just insane. I mean, it's insane that they can print this stuff and call it fact still.
Martine Wishmayer.
I think the energy flood indeed is more will continue for longer. They keep adding countries to make it even more sensational. First, it was just like they used the same amount as Luxembourg, and that was Luxembourg, Belgium, and France. And now it's like it's Brazil and all of Latin America. So they keep adding countries to make it even more like so much energy. But Bitcoin would remain secure even if it would only have half the miners. The hash power is enormous. So I'm not too worried about it, but I think the reason why they keep pushing this energy agenda, because companies buying Bitcoin, they are not environmentally friendly. That's the whole thing behind it. Even though, getting minerals out of the ground and melting it and then putting it in the central bank vault, if there's even such a thing as gold-backed currency, is not very environmentally friendly either. And they say you waste energy by mining Bitcoin. I don't think it is. We get something really, really valuable back. And it's something we should realize. People that think Bitcoin is worthless and it's just a mania, tulip mania, and it's its eventual value will be zero. It'll go down to zero. Yeah, then it's a waste of energy. I don't think it will go down to zero. I think it's very valuable, and therefore I don't think it does use that much electricity. But the electricity one is definitely, the energy FUD will definitely survive the new version of the China FUD, because they tried that China FUD so many times. It's I don't think it even sticks if they put it in like a new article. So the energy FUD will be the one to watch.
Well, as you might have heard, Kevin Leary from Shark Tank, Mr. Wonderful, claims that he's buying only Bitcoin that's not minted in China, and only Bitcoin that's minted with renewable power. And I wish him the best of luck in telling that Bitcoin apart from the other Bitcoin. Josh Segala, your thoughts on China being the new number one FUD?
Well, the thing is, governments and the industrial media complexes always need their boogeyman. Obviously, we haven't had terrorism for a while, have we? No, it's all been COVID. So terrorists have disappeared. So the next thing what we need is of course, now that the COVID boogie monster is almost dead and they've milked a lot of cash from that cow, it's on to China. China will be next. So whatever they can throw at China, that'll be the new boogeyman that we all have to fear. In the 80s, I think it was I think we had Russia. And that was, and you see it in Hollywood too, always the Russian or the German accents, the evil, and then of course the terriblists, and then actually there was a little break in between there. You had the serial killers were the thing for a while. You had to watch out for all your neighbors' serial killer. There's always a boogeyman. Next is China. We'll see, and maybe that will be part of the whole game, is using Bitcoin. I think one big FUD that hasn't really come out yet is terrorists and pedos and stuff using it. So I think that's what could come up next, is some awful thing where everyone looks at you like, are you one of those if you use Bitcoin? Because that's quite an easy card to pull, and I'm surprised they haven't pulled that one yet. So as big as they could, but yeah.
Underground payments, the FUD of the future. Ben Ark, is China the best?
It is. As I said, it is a threat to US hegemony. And for the US, they should, for the government or whatever, if it wants to keep its nation's power over and tight grip over the rest of the world, then it should certainly try and fight Bitcoin in any way it can. But it's treason, and that's why it's there, is to bypass things like the US sanctions, which they levy on all these countries. So I think a lot of the poorer countries will do a lot better by trading using Bitcoin. So I wouldn't be surprised if, this is like a front which is used to attack Bitcoin from the US. And on the energy stuff, like, I think it's okay to admit that Bitcoin's carbon footprint is very high for on-chain transactions, and we should use transactions in a much more sophisticated way and cram as much data into them as possible, and take transactions off-chain when we can, and get the most out of a transaction. And then also, push for miners to be using renewables. We can lobby miners, and we can help build out infrastructure so they use renewables more. And it's not a bad thing to admit that Bitcoin does use a lot of energy, and it has got a heavy carbon footprint, but it's something which can be addressed. And energy usage itself is always correlated with a society's development. The more energy a society uses, the more it's developed. That's the way it works. But we need to, obviously, in all areas of our society, we need to use energy in a more efficient, renewable way. And for Bitcoin, I think this is a great opportunity for us to say, okay, a transaction, me sending value from, on-chain from me to you is heavy on a carbon footprint, but this is why we're pushing for this off-chain second layer stuff, and then roll out second layer more and cram thousands of transactions into that one transaction. Makes it much more efficient.